Okay, so I wanted to give you the Google I/O update as well. So there's a video that just summarizes it in 17 minutes. There's a couple of them. I think every news um, entity like TechCrunch and The Verge and CNN have their own like Google I/O summary where they just clip the interesting parts. I like The Verge's one because they have timestamps and make it a little bit easy. I'm just going to talk about some of the updates because, to be honest, a lot of it was very similar to OpenAI, and I feel bad for saying it just because it was second. Like it just like didn't like it wasn't as like cool, but they were really cool updates. So this one was really cool. So this is the Ask Photos search. So I'll just show that real quick. You can see it.
Boom. With Gemini, you're making that a whole lot easier. Say you're at a parking station ready to pay. Now you can simply ask photos. It knows the cars that appear often. It triangulates which one is yours and just tells you the license plate number. You can even follow up with something more complex. Show me how Lucia's swimming has progressed. Here, Gemini goes beyond a simple search, recognizing different contexts, from doing laps in the pool to snorkeling in the ocean. We are rolling out Ask Photos this summer with more capabilities to come.
So that was an interesting feature. I think, by the way, just prefacing it, a lot of this stuff was more like usability based. Like, here's a cool feature.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, Google's advantage in all of this and their disadvantage is that they're not an AI company, right? OpenAI just does AI, whereas Google has a whole product suite that they can integrate this stuff in. And I think it also explains that a lot of, like, there are going to be so many different ways of monetizing this because they're not going to be able to directly monetize Gemini. What they're banking on is that more people are going to move to their already monetized products because they have these integrations that make those products more useful. It's, I don't know when, but it's going to be a long time, I think, before OpenAI as a company is able to roll out something like what we just saw there. Not because they don't have the AI, because they don't have the billion users that already have uploaded the terabytes of photo storage. Now, I'm not saying that in the sense of training data, but it's like I would have to transfer all of my photos over to some Chat GPT photo album thing, and I'm just not going to do that. That's a really cool use case. Like the number of times that I wish I could just type in what's my passport number, right? And it's like, yeah, it's in an email somewhere that I had to send to a lawyer one time or whatever. Like these kind of questions are going to be really, really useful to be able to ask and get answers for.
Yeah, great feature. I agree. I think that they're going to have a huge benefit by just having the user base and just like rolling it out in the stuff that we're already using it. I think like Facebook did this with the whole like Meta AI in WhatsApp and Messenger. And I don't know about you, but it didn't land well with me.
It was so lazy. It was more annoying than anything because I would open search and it was like, talk to an AI. I was like, I don't want to talk to an AI. I want to search. That's why I'm here. That kind of integration is really, really lazy, and you see it everywhere. I think that's a more thoughtful integration that we just saw there that really understands what people use their photos for, even if that's not what they should use their photos for.
Yeah, makes sense. This is the Gemini Sidebar, which I think is just another nice addition to your email. So it'll just be open at all times. You can ask it things. I thought one of the examples that they shared was cool, which was like, can you compile all the receipts for the last financial year and sort of summarize, put it into a Google Drive for me? And I thought that was a great idea because
epic.
Yeah. So yeah, I think just having that sidebar makes a lot of difference. They were talking about how Gemini 1.5 has I think 2 million token context window, which like, why are we talking about context windows anymore at this point? Like, it's like, that's so much. That's like, I forgot what it was.
Difference between being able to take in a couple of paragraphs and being able to take in everything in your inbox, right? So there are different scales at which it really matters. And I think that's why you'll find that Google was really pushing for token size in a way that OpenAI hasn't been, because Google has to be able to contextualize your entire photo album or your entire inbox. And those just aren't things that people are trying to do with OpenAI.
Yeah, makes sense. It's just that 2 million seems so insane, but now that you put it in context of like emails and like having to put all that data in, makes sense. And I think one of the things that they were talking about was like they want to get to an infinite context window, which, fair enough. Okay, this one hit me hard. It's not even that like revolutionary technology wise, right? But it hit me hard because I'm in the education space and I can, like, I showed my team this and I'm like, well, let's do this. This is sick. Okay, so I'll show you this one.
On the left as input.
Okay, so for context, he's got all these files in this thing called Notebook LM. So he's got all these notes. I think it's on forces and gravity and whatever. And it gives you a couple of options. So you can create a study guide, FAQ, or quiz. The part I thought was really cool is the audio overview. So I think he's going to jump into that.
Output them into a lively science discussion, personalized for him.
So let's dive into physics. What's on deck for today?
Well, we're starting with the basics, force and motion.
Okay.
And that, of course, means we have to talk about Sir Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion.
And what's amazing is that my son and I can join into the conversation and steer it whichever direction we want. When I tap join.
Hold on, we have a question. What's up, Josh?
Yeah, can you give my son Jimmy a basketball example?
Hey, Jimmy, that's a fantastic idea. Basketball is actually a great way to visualize force and motion.
Yeah, I
Let's-
thought this was
Hey,
really cool.
Jimmy bothered me, but yeah, it is very cool. It is very, very cool.
Well, typical Google style of, like, you know, it's coming soon or it's going to come next summer. You know, I'm going to say the same thing. Entry levels, instant podcasts are coming soon in a couple of months because I'm just going to take this idea.
I was going to say this at the end, but I'll just say it now. My big fear for Google is that they're not actually going to be able to execute this.
Yeah.
They have a history of over and over and over and over again of it's so bad that it is beyond meme at this point that they will roll out a product, it will get massive adoption, or it won't, and then they'll kill it. Either way. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't get it. And I just think that they've got Notebook LM and they've got Gemini this and Gemini that, and they're going to have all these cool things, and they're just going to can them. And then they're going to roll out the exact same thing with a different name in front of it, and users are going to get confused, and they're never actually going to get anywhere. Like, before I'm really willing to use Gemini in Gmail, please, for the love of God, fix Gmail. Make it less painful to use. Make it less ugly. Make it stop constantly changing underneath me. Go back to Inbox, which was like a massively adopted product that people loved, and then it got canned for no reason. Like, I don't know. You just see Google do this all the time. They go into product segments, or they just create new products for segments that they're already in. Like, you just know they're going to release a new chat app that is somehow AI centered, and then they're going to kill it, 18 months later.
Yeah. So I think if anyone's listening, just take the ideas and run with it. Like, just do it yourself. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we saw this, and, like, I didn't even think about doing this until I saw it. Now I'm like, cool, we're gonna do instant podcasts where, like, students can just, like, click on a course module and it'll just turn it into a podcast, and then you can jump in and ask a question. Like, that seems so possible with all the tech now. So may as well jump on it.